I think that we got so caught up in school being a tradition that we stopped using it as a learning tool, which it should be. Like, up to this day, I mean, school should be, I think there should be a different curriculum in each and every, like, neighborhood, you know? Because I'm going to Tamalpais High, and I'm learning about the basics, but they're not basic for me, you know? And it's like, they're not, to get us ready for today's world, that's not helping. It's just what they took, so it's what we're gonna take, you know? And that's why the streets have taught me. And but school is really important, reading, writing, arithmetic. But I think after you learn reading, writing, and arithmetic, that's it. But what they tend to do is teach you reading, writing, and arithmetic, then teach you reading and writing and arithmetic again, then again, then again, just making it harder and harder, just so, to keep you busy. And that's where I think they messed up. There should be a class on drugs. It should be a class on sex education, a real sex education class, not just pictures and diaphragms and unlogical terms and things like that. There should be a drug class. There should be sex education. There should be a class on scams. There should be a class on religious cults. There should be a class on police brutality. There should be a class on apartheid. There should be a class on racism in America. There should be a class on why people are hungry, but they're not. Their classes on gym, you know, physical education. Let's learn volleyball, because one day we're gonna, you know, their classes like algebra, where I've yet to go to a store and said, can I have X, Y plus 2 and give me my Y change back, thank you. You know, I think you could let me out. I've lived alone by myself, and the things that helped me were the things that I learned from my mother and from the streets. And reading has helped me. I mean, school has taught me reading, which is I love. Reading, writing, and arithmetic. That's it. Like foreign languages. I think they're important, but I don't think it should be required. Because actually they should be teaching you English and then teaching you how to understand double talk, politicians double talk, not teaching you how to understand French and Spanish and German. When am I going to Germany? I can't afford to pay my rent in America. How am I going to Germany? You know, this is what I mean by the basics and not the basics for me.
High school has been teaching students the basic fundamentals forever. Our society has been changing throughout the years, and students today seem to be uneducated over topics such as drugs, sex education, politics, and other real-world situations.
Does school teach you anything about resumes?
No, school didn't teach me anything.
A resume is a document used by people to present their background and skills, typically used to gain employment. High schoolers need to learn how to create one because it is essential to receive a job.
Do you know anything about drugs?
Yeah.
And did you learn from school?
No.
Okay. An illegal drug is a drug whose production or use is prohibited or strictly controlled via prescription. High schoolers should be aware of the different kinds of drugs and the harm they can cause.
Does school teach you anything about religious cults? I have no idea what that is.
A religious cult is a religious group that denies one or more of the fundamentals of biblical truth, such as the KKK. This is an important factor to know about because they are dangerous and could be around you in disguise.
Do you know anything about sex?
No, I'm a virgin.
Did school teach you anything about sex?
No.
Sex education is a broad term to describe sexual anatomy, reproduction, and intercourse. The subject is briefly skimmed upon when in reality it needs to be taught more in depth by using electronic babies and guest speakers.
Does school teach you how to write checks or do finances?
Oh, hell no.
Financing is a term used to describe how people manage their money and assets over time. Kids need to learn this, especially for college, because they do not want to get too far in debt.
Go.
Does school teach you anything about police brutality? No.
Police brutality is the use of excessive force, usually physical attacks or verbal, by a police officer. High schoolers are unaware that this happens, and they should know what to do if it happens to them if they are in the situation. Does high school teach you anything about politics?
No.
Politics is the art or science of governing a nation along with the administration and control of its internal and external affairs. This is important for teens to learn for voting in elections.
What classes do you take in high school?
I take English and psychology and pre-calc. I have study hall.
In band?
Oh yeah, I'm in band, and that's Spanish 3. Yeah.
Do you think high school focuses too much on like the basics, like math, reading, and writing, and not enough on like your choices down the road?
Well, I think math, reading, and writing, of course, are very important, but a lot of us can do with, if you have a solid up to 8th grade education in reading, writing, and those types of things, you can make do with that, maybe not going on to the college level. However, we're not really good at showing students what they can do with their lives. Many students don't know what choice to make because they haven't been able to go out into the workforce and see what things are really like. Even in college, we're doing that as well. So we all are guilty of not being able to show students the work world and what it's really like.
In conclusion, high school should broaden their required subjects and begin to teach students useful information that will help them when they enter the real world and become independent.